Alright, so what I have here is a tier list of 17 types of backpacks for 2020. Alright, so I'm just going to go off this article written by Ray Ken. And we have these 17 types of backpacks. We're going to go ahead and start with the traditional backpack. So, the traditional backpack is kind of just like the bag that you first get. You know, it's like the noob backpack, the entry level backpack. Like, it does its job pretty well, you know, you can't really complain. B tier. Next is the rucksack. So it's pretty similar to a normal backpack, um, but to be honest, it's just bigger. There's more flaps, there's more compartments, there's more buckles. It's like cargo pants for backpacks. C tier. Next is the Daypack. This is ideal for people who are interested in lightweight travel and they just want like a normal backpack but a light one. It's really good um, because it just gets the job done while being pretty light. I mean, if you're sporty, you could probably go for one of these. Next is the laptop backpack. So these are they're good, you know, if you rely on transporting your laptop on a daily basis. My problem with these is that for their size, they don't provide the right kind of hip support. I mean, they have like really trendy designs and they have like some really nifty features. They're super, you know, high-tech backpacks. Like they're cool, but you're flexing. Honestly, if you really need one of these, go for it, but I wouldn't personally, just because I'm a minimalist and I like to travel small, like very light. This is not very light. C tier. Next is the tactical military backpack. So yeah, this is a status symbol. I don't see why you need one of these. It's just like, sure, I guess if you go camping, it might be good for that. Um, but unless you're like serving in the military, it's just kind of like you know, you're flexing. Do you need to flex? Number 6, frame backpack. So these are good because these are usually around 55 liters, which seems big, but they have the right kind of support, and they can help you if you go backpacking or if you go on a solo trip. I had a bag like this. It was a top-loading bag, just like the one in this picture, um, which personally I don't like. But now I have one that opens up and it has a separate compartment for a laptop. Um, but for a, you know, general concept, a frame backpack, really good because it provides the support you need. And if you go for long periods of time without that support, you're gonna have back problems. Next is the Sling Bag. This is really cool because it's easy to, you know, put it on, take it off. Some of them have a clip, so you can just unclip it as well. Really practical, but they're not very big. They are practical though. A tier. Next is the tote backpack. So a tote backpack is like a combination of two things: a tote bag and a backpack. Isn't that crazy? But it's one of those things where it's like, alright, it doesn't really do either of them like really well. So unless you're like regularly switching between using it as a tote bag and then using it as a backpack, I don't see why you'd need this. D tier. Drawstring Backpack. I love these because you can fold them up, you can put them in your other bag, and you can expand the stuff that you can carry with you. If, for example, you have to go on an airplane and you can only carry one carry-on bag, you can shove this bag inside your stuff in one bag, and then it seems really lightweight. When you're off the plane, then you can just take it out and, you know, use it for food and other stuff. Highly recommend. But it only has one bag, one compartment, and I don't know. I like the practical aspect of having at least two pockets because I want to put my keys or my wallet somewhere else. Number 10, dry bag backpack. So this is pretty much just like a heavy duty backpack in the sense that it stays dry. Um, I guess if you're an outdoor enthusiast, this is good for you, but it's pretty single purpose, and I haven't used this enough to actually know how useful it is because I don't do what these kind of people do. At least not enough. C tier. Compression sack. So The problem with these is that you have to load them from the top. But because you can compress them, it's nice because you can just make it smaller. B tier. Duffel bag, backpack. So one of those things that tries to do two things but does neither of them excellently. This is too big without. This bag is just too big to not have like proper hip support. It's not going to be comfortable. So essentially, it's just you're flexing. Do you need to be flexing? I don't think so. If you flex, you also might attract people to steal your stuff. Nobody wants that. Rain cover backpack, number 13. So I have a normal backpack that came with like a rain cover, and it turns into this. So this is pretty much just like a normal backpack with a cover. A tier. Suitcase backpack. This is garbage. I don't see why people get this, because that metal pole in the middle that's required for someone to, drag it like a suitcase also means that the back is going to be straight. And that's not good for your back, actually. You need a little bit of curve. So it doesn't give you good back support. And that metal frame adds a lot to the weight. D tier. Out dry backpack. So honestly, it's just a waterproof backpack for hiking and traveling. I don't know. I guess it's the same as that other waterproof bag, but for traveling, I don't know. I think I had one of these. As long as it has hip support, it's fine, but this one doesn't seem like it does. I'll put it in a C tier. 16. So, hydration backpack. These are super practical. If you're hiking or doing anything sporty for an extended period of time, super useful. You can just suck on that nipple and then you're hydrated. A tier. Last but not least, knapsack. Personally, this is like what I use 90% of the time because it's just so practical. S tier. It gets S tier because you can use it pretty much in any scenario. If you have a quality bag, like I do, then the straps aren't uncomfortable and you can use it as your, the bag that you use to go to work, for example, or just hike. I use it for both purposes, and it works really well. Favorite backpack. S tier for sure.